Greetings to you, our senior parents and Mount Vernon High School class of 2021. My name is Miss Lynn Middleton, school counselor for all new and rising ninth graders, as well as the Sundown Alternative Program, grades 9 to 12. Welcome to our senior information session. In passing, I want to acknowledge our Mount Vernon High School administrative leadership team, in particular, our school principal, Dr. Ronald Gonzalez, our assistant principal of curriculum and instruction, Mr. Severin Cornelius, our ninth grade assistant principal, Miss Erica Norton, and the administrator for the Sundown program, Mr. Alan Grant. As a school counselor, it is certainly my pleasure to give a great big shout out to my colleagues, our Mount Vernon High School counselors, who continue to work so arduously, effectively, and efficiently to give 100% guidance to not just our senior class, but to all of our students that make up each of our caseloads. Our educational philosophy is, as always, that every child can learn. During this information session, the counselors will come and educate you, the students and parents, on the following: graduation requirements, CEDARs and pathways, student search and college criteria, application types, as well as the parts of the application process, student athletes and naviance, financial aid, senior year deadlines with important websites to resort to, things to remember, and last but not least, the guidance department contact information. As each counselor comes, each respectively, please give them your undivided attention. And young people, there are at least 4 things that all of us want you to remember to do. Number 1, work hard. Number 2, stay humble. Number 3, please be kind. And number 4, take the academic leap necessary. We are all here for you. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Militano, and I am proud to be a member of the Mount Vernon High School Schools Counseling Team. I am going to speak today about graduation requirements. For the local and Regents diploma, all students must earn 4 credits of English and social studies, 3 credits of science and math, 2 credits in physical education, 1 credit of foreign language, 1 credit of either visual art, music, dance, or theater, a half a credit of health, 3.5 credits of electives. I'm going to speak about the Regents exams after I'm finished. And those are the basic credit requirements for a New York State Regents diploma. Please keep in mind that you should discuss your individual goals with your school counselor, as sub-programs of study may require additional coursework. Now, for the Advanced Regents diploma, in addition to the requirements for the Regents diploma, students must also complete the following: 2 additional credits of foreign language, and 4 additional Regents exams to include the passing of 2 additional math exams, 1 additional science exam, and the World Language Checkpoint B examination. So, for Regents exams, we have something called multiple pathways. All students must pass a Regents exam in the following areas: math, science, social studies, and English language arts. Those are the 4 main that everybody must pass. In addition, you may use something called the 4+1. You can pass an additional exam in social studies, math, science, or you may complete something called CEDAS, Career Development and Occupational Studies. One of my colleagues will speak further on this.
Hello, seniors. This is Mrs. Capitelli, the transition counselor for the Mount Vernon City Schools. I work with your school counselors when you choose to pursue the CDOS commencement credential as part of the 4+1 pathway to graduation that Mrs. Militano was just speaking of. CDOS stands for the Career Development and Occupational Studies Credential. This is a credential, or say a certificate, a student can earn along with their diploma. This is available to all students. CDOS offers students the opportunity to gain real-world work readiness skills and career development. In order for a student to be awarded the CDOS credential, they must take at least 1.5 credits of CTE classes, for example, culinary arts, cosmetology, or TV production, and take part in a work-based learning placement, much like an internship. These placements can be in school, out in the community, and during COVID-19 can be done virtually. Students will work with me and our work-based learning teacher to assess your career goals and place you in an internship that best supports your needs. You will create a career plan and an employability profile that you can use after graduation to show that you are career ready. If you are eligible for any other CDOS options, you will need to meet with your school counselor to discuss that further.
Greetings, students and family. This is Mr. Wade, school counselor at Mount Vernon High School. What we're going to talk about now is we're going to talk about student search criteria for college selection. This is very important to many of you. Some of the things that you want to take a look at are the size of the school that you're thinking about going to. One of the reasons is because sometimes people don't fit in a very large environment. Sometimes they might want a smaller environment where they can actually have a little bit more intimacy with the campus that they're at. So therefore, you want to look at school size. And when you're doing a search criteria in Naviance, you can actually put in one of the drop boxes. It'll tell you which the different sizes are, and you can choose from there. One of the other things you want to think about is location. Not everybody wants to be far away from home. I always say that a really good barometer is maybe to be somewhere maybe 3 hours away in case you have to get home quickly. It might be a good option. But I also know students who have gone all the way as far as California. So it's just a choice. It's a matter of where you want to go in terms of the location of the school that you're choosing. When you're looking at academic fit, you want to think about who you are as a student, what your academic resume looks like, and then what the school is actually looking for in the students that they accept. So one of the things is going to be to look at schools that are somewhat considered reaches. Reaches are schools that you almost fit their criteria, but you might be missing or a little bit lower in one area than another. It's like, say, your SAT scores. One of the things about reaches is that you still might want to apply to some of them because there may be an opportunity for you to be able to get into those schools. So you have to think carefully about the reaches, and you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're definitely going to get denied, such as, I don't know, I went to Lehman College. I knew that I could not go to Harvard. So I did not pick Harvard as one of my reach schools. So just think about those kind of things. Targets. Those are the schools that you feel very comfortable with your opportunity to be able to get in. Safety schools are the ones that you know that you can get into. You meet all the requirements and it should be no issue. Now, when choosing any of these schools, the one thing you want to make sure that you pay attention to is apply to schools that you actually want to go to. That's a very important thing, okay? Let's talk about these schools. There's a lot of things that you're going to be doing outside of academics, and part of that is your campus life there. When you're picking a college to go to, you're actually picking a place where you're going to be living for roughly 10 months out of the year. So you want to make sure that that campus and the community around it has some of the things that you're interested in doing. So some of those things could be extracurricular activities. Some of those things could be the atmosphere. Like, what kind of atmosphere do they have? Are they, open to the things that you're open to? Do they have, if you're into gaming, do they have a huge gaming network community there? Things of those natures are what you want to start thinking about. You want to think about the school itself and what opportunities they offer you for job internships and job placement. The Alumni Association at every college that you go to is a huge part of the school. And you want to think about what that Alumni Association can bring you as well. Because you will be part of that alumni, and it'll be your job at that point in time to continue to assist the students coming behind you. Housing. Do they have on-campus housing? Is it co-ed housing? Do they have dorms? Can freshmen live off campus right away? All of these things are decisions that you have to make based on what it is that you're looking for. Cost. Cost is a very big thing. Now, I'm a proponent for applying to the schools that you want to go to, for filling out your FAFSA, applying for scholarships, waiting for the decisions from the school and their financial aid packages, and then making a decision. Do not make your decision ahead of time. Don't cancel out an opportunity to go somewhere because you think you can't afford it, because you never know what opportunities and what scholarships they may have for students. Okay? The freshman retention rate. This is something that you want to look at because it's an opportunity for you to see how many freshmen go to that school, the support services they provide for them, and whether they're able to retain those freshmen that enter their school. You want to go to a school that's going to nurture you and help you academically along the way. Freshman retention rate is a huge piece of it. Now, college criteria for student selection. Colleges look at many things. So let's first start with some of the basics. They're going to look at your grades and they're going to look at your high school curriculum. They're going to see how you fared in the classes that you took, and they're going to see if you challenged yourself while you were actually taking the classes that you took. The other thing they're going to look at is standardized tests, SAT and ACT. Now, while we know that right now a lot of schools are waiving the SAT and ACT, we also need to be mindful that you have to then add more things to your academic resume, including community service, internships, special projects, extracurricular activities, any of those things that are going to supplement that. If you've taken any tests, your Regents scores, anything like that, they're also going to use that kind of information to weigh in as well. Many schools right now are test optional. And if you have any questions about that, you can go to www.fairtest.org to find a listing of schools that are test optional. Letters of recommendation. This is a very important piece. The letters of recommendation should come from people who actually know you over time. You don't want a letter of recommendation from somebody who might be a first-year teacher for you, who's only known you for a couple of months. You might want to use that 10th grade teacher who saw you progress and saw you transform between your 10th grade year and your 12th grade year. They'll be able to speak better to who you are. Also, if you get outside recommendations, it's nice to get recommendations from people who are famous or well-known, but how much does that famous or well-known person actually know you, as opposed to a neighbor, a member of your church, a member of your community that you've interacted with for many years? These are things that you want to think about when you're talking about getting letters of recommendation and who they come from. Your essay. Your essay is, to me, the one time you actually get to express yourself on your application. Because everything else is going to be about your grades, your transcript, the things that you've done, but this is your opportunity to actually speak to the people who are reviewing the applications. Therefore, you want to tell them why they should select you, the benefit of you coming to their school and their community, and what you hope to achieve from going to that school and being part of that community. You want to teach them that they're going to be inviting somebody to their community who is going to provide a benefit for being there. Just think about this. Do you not judge people before they come into your house? Schools are going to do the same thing. Your portfolio and audition requirements for certain schools, you want to make sure that you have that ready. If you're going to be an art major, you want to make sure that you have your portfolio ready so that way when you submit it, they'll have stuff to go over. Fashion design, same type of thing. So you want to make sure that if you're going to a school that requires a portfolio or an addition, to make sure that you are ready and that you have a package worth presenting. Your resume and activity sheet. This is where you're going to, it's very similar to a job resume like you would use for work, but your resume is basically going to be talking about what you did over the course of your 4-year academic journey in high school. The activity sheet is going to talk about what you did outside of being in the classroom, whether it be inside the school or outside in the community. Many people do a lot of work with the city, the community, churches, different organizations. They volunteer, they do internships. All of that information will help someone make a decision as to who you are, and it'll show that you're well-rounded. Thank you so much. We're going to have a great year. Look forward to working with all of you and look forward to being able to see you achieve and go to the next level. Have a great day.
Hi seniors, it's Ms. Trombetta. Once you have determined your list of colleges and universities, it is time to apply. There are several ways to apply to college. The Common Application, or Common App, is the most common method of applying to college. Over 900 colleges and universities are represented by Common Application, and it can be found on commonapp.org. The Common Application allows you to apply to multiple colleges using one application. However, many colleges and universities require an additional piece called a supplement. Supplements are school-specific, and they're not required by all colleges and universities. It is the student's responsibility to make sure they submit the required supplements. The Common Application charges an application fee per college. The price varies by college. If you believe you qualify for a fee waiver, please see your school counselor. Although 900 colleges and universities are members of the Common Application, not all colleges and universities are on the Common Application. For example, the CUNY, City University of New York schools, do not use Common Application. The Common Black Application is a second method of applying to college. The Common Black Application can be found on eduinconline.com. You can apply to up to 42 member colleges for a single price of $35. Similar to the Common Application, the Common Black College Application uses a common application for all the participating colleges, and an additional supplement may be required. The student must check the college's website to verify if a supplement is necessary for the application process. The SUNY application is a way for a student can apply for the State Universities of New York. You can find the SUNY application on suny.edu. Just like the Common App and the Common Black College application, there is one application for all of the schools. Supplements may apply. The application fee is $50 per school. Fee waivers are offered to students who qualify for EOP. EOP applicants can apply to 6 SUNYs for free. If you believe you qualify for EOP, please see your school counselor for details. The CUNY application is a way students can apply for the City Universities of New York. Students who are interested in applying to colleges like Hunter, Baruch, and Lehman must use the CUNY application found on cuny.edu. Lastly, many colleges and universities offer their own applications, and they can be found on the school's website. Some colleges and universities offer incentives for using their own application. For example, many 2-year SUNY colleges offer a free application if the student applies using the application found on their website. All the applications mentioned use a similar format. Students are required to input their personal information into the application. Students are also responsible for submitting their essay, resume or activity sheet, and test scores. Students submit official SAT scores using collegeboard.org and official ACT scores using actstudent.org. Students who are interested in applying for art-related majors may have to submit a portfolio. For example, a student interested in fashion design might have to submit a collection of drawings to the admissions office. If you're required to submit a portfolio for your intended major, please send a copy of your work. It is not likely the admissions department will return your portfolio. Counselors are responsible for submitting your transcripts and letters of recommendation. If you have not yet asked teachers for letters of recommendation, I recommend you do so at your earliest convenience. Many colleges and universities require 2 letters of recommendation. Please keep in mind that counselors are responsible for submitting letters to the colleges, not submitting requests to your teachers. Once you apply to college, I recommend that you email your counselor. Frequent communication with your counselor will ensure that the college application process runs smoothly and in a time-efficient manner. If you have any specific questions or concern regarding the application process, I recommend you speak to your counselor during your senior meeting.
Hi, parents. My name is Peggy Williams. I am a school counselor here at Mount Vernon High School. And today I'm going to be talking with you about student athletes and the NCAA Clearinghouse. As the student athletic counselor for the Mount Vernon City School District, I have the pleasure of working with all of the student athletes to ensure that they have an opportunity to extend their athletic participation into the collegiate setting. But in order for them to do that, they need to participate in the NCAA Clearinghouse. You'll see on this slide that there is a website that all students who wish to participate in post-secondary play at the collegiate level in Division 1, 2, 3, or in an associate's degree program, which we refer to as JUCO, will have to participate in one way or another in the NCAA Clearinghouse. Just a couple of things that you need to know as you're supporting your student athlete. One, GPA is everything. The courses that they take increase their rigor. They also have higher weights, and that can support a higher grade point average. Two, the courses that they take have to be cleared by the NCAA Clearinghouse. Therefore, all student athletes need to be in conversation with their school counselors about their athletic goals at the collegiate level to ensure that they are scheduled for the courses that would make them eligible for their appropriate division of the NCAA. Lastly, students, after completing their application, may be eligible for a fee waiver. Students who are eligible for a fee waiver are those students who have taken the SAT school day exam and or used a fee waiver in some other capacity to take either the SAT or the ACT examinations. Once they've completed that task, they will come and see me in this virtual environment. They can send me a Schoology message. I will Zoom with them and I will provide them with a fee waiver that will allow for their applications to be processed by the NCAA. Again, it's really important for student athletes to be in communication with their school counselors to ensure that their transcripts are clean, that they have the appropriate courses on there. So when the NCAA does their evaluation, they'll be able to determine whether or not a student is eligible. Students will be asked to fill out a waiver asking permission for us to release their transcripts to the NCAA Clearinghouse. One time in the junior year, if they're decided at that early stage, and one time in the senior year, especially when it comes to the final transcripts. So if you have any questions about the NCAA Clearinghouse, about student athleticism at the collegiate level, feel free to contact me at pwilliams@mtvernoncsd.org. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to Naviance. Naviance is an American college and career readiness software provider that partners with high schools and K-12 programs all across the country. Their company boasts that they are in contact with over 7 million students in over 8,500 schools around the country. So it is a very well-known program. We here at Mount Vernon High School are very proud to partner with Naviance. What seniors need to know that is really important is Naviance is a tool that we are going to use to help them complete their college admissions process. So it's really important that all students, whether they're in 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade, become familiar with Naviance. But for seniors, Naviance is truly an intricate tool and a necessary tool to complete the process. Things that you need to be aware of. First, it's easy to sign into Naviance. They will use their single sign-on credentials in the same way that they use them for Schoology or their Student Outlook accounts on the Mount Vernon City School District website. Or they can go to naviance.com, follow the appropriate prompts, sign in with their single sign-on criteria and credentials, and they'll be right into the system. Naviance is great because it allows students to have an opportunity to research colleges and universities. This includes the cost of tuition for the 2020-2021 school year. We all know that tuition costs go up a little bit every year, but it will give you a very good general overview. They also can help students to find out information about housing availability, academic majors, internship programs, sororities, fraternities, and most importantly, their specific academic majors. So it's really important that students use that system in order to do the research before they comprise their college lists. Through Naviance, students will be able to share their college lists with their school counselors. And that way, we will be able to send our application materials to all of the colleges that the student ultimately decides to apply to. We encourage all students to utilize the Common App as their major application vehicle tool. You'll hear more about that in our other presentations about the requirements for the college application process. However, any application tool that they use, whether it's SUNY.edu or the HBCU Common App, Naviance is connected and has a great way of sending their materials digitally to any college or university so that they can be reviewed as quickly as possible. Lastly, Naviance is the place where we will be warehousing all of our scholarship information. So as scholarships come into the school counselor's office, we will be posting them on a regular basis on the scholarship list tab in Naviance. We ask all parents and students to make it a priority to set one day every 2 weeks to look at the scholarship offerings so that they can be most up to date on opportunities to finance their education. Naviance is simple to use, and again, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to your school counselor for support. Thank you so much.
Greetings, seniors, parents, and families. My name is Takesha Sales, proud school counselor at Mount Vernon High School. Financial aid is money to help pay for college or technical school. Grants, work-study, loans, and scholarships help make college more affordable. The first and most important step in the financial aid process is completing the FAFSA. FAFSA, which stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, opened on October 1st, 2020. The earlier you apply, the better. To complete the FAFSA, you will need an FSA ID, which stands for Federal Student Identification, and this is used to sign electronically. You will also need your Social Security number or your alien registration number if you are not a U.S. citizen. And the last thing that you will need is your parents' federal income tax returns from 2018. The easiest way to transfer your federal tax return information into your FAFSA is by using the IRS data retrieval tool. After approximately 3 to 5 business days of completing your FAFSA, you will receive your student aid report that will include your EFC, which stands for Expected Family Contribution. This number is used by colleges to calculate how much financial aid you are eligible to receive. Please join us on October 28th at 6 p.m. for our virtual financial aid information session hosted by Siena College. The meeting link will be provided at a later date. Scholarships and merit money. Scholarship opportunities will be shared on Schoology groups and listed on Naviance. This type of free money, which is sometimes based on academic merit, talent, or a particular area of study, can make a huge difference in helping you manage your educational expenses. One awesome scholarship opportunity for our scholars is the Excelsior Scholarship for students interested in attending a SUNY or CUNY school. There is a long list of criteria and eligibility for this scholarship. However, this is still an amazing option for our seniors to take advantage of. Again, students and parents, please join us on Wednesday, October 28th for our financial aid information session. This virtual meeting will provide all of this information and more. You're also more than welcome to reach out to your child's school counselor for additional information regarding this crucial part of the college application process.
Greetings, students and parents of class of 2021. My name is Lolita Green, and I am a school counselor here at Mount Vernon High School. I cannot stress enough to you the importance of senior deadlines. Senior deadlines are extremely important. Students must be able to communicate with their counselors and let us know what schools you are applying to. All colleges and university applications are due to the guidance office at least 3 weeks before the due date, but no later than December 4th. Please view the following dates to keep in mind so you can stay on track. November 1st needs to be to the guidance office by October 23rd. Any remaining deadlines should be to the guidance office by December 4th. Here are some important websites. If you have not done so, parents and students should have an account with College Board. Fast Web website is also a great website where students can find out about more scholarships. The Fair Test website is a great website for students to learn about colleges and universities that are test optional. Please assure that parents and students are visiting these websites regularly. Things to remember. During these unprecedented times, we all need to demonstrate patience and be mindful that this is a new experience for us all. The school counseling department is here to support you, and we want to make your senior year rewarding. Students should check their posts in class of 2021 in the calendar along with your counselor's senior group regularly. There's important information and opportunities that are posted. These groups give us the opportunity to disseminate important information to students. Students' login and password is the same for all district platforms. Therefore, the login you use for Schoology is also good for Home Access and Naviance. Please remember the financial aid night will be hosted by Siena College on October 28th at 6 p.m. I cannot stress enough the importance to make sure that we have updated and accurate contact information. We use a digital platform, and we will need to be able to communicate with you via email. Please contact your child's counselor to provide us with the updated information. We will be offering the SAT College Entry Exam at Mount Vernon High School on Tuesday, October 27th. Students must have photo ID to take the exam. Once again, I want to stress the importance of your child keeping open communication with their school counselor to let us know what schools they are applying to be mindful of their deadline so that we can assure that all necessary documents are at the school at the proper time. The guidance department contact information that you see, please take a moment to jot down your child's school counselor information. If you would like to revisit this presentation, you will find this presentation on Mount Vernon Community School District YouTube channel. For Spectrum customers, you will find it on Channel 6.
For our Verizon customers, you will find it on channel 33. If you visit our school website, you can go to our district, then click on the bottom to our schools, click into Mount Vernon High School, and there you will also see the presentation. Thank you, and we're looking forward to a great year. And remember, teamwork make a dream work.